New York mornings always started gray. The sky was dull and heavy, mimicking the metallic pace of the city. Taylor Swift didn't realize her coffee was getting cold as she stared out the window of her studio. On the table in front of her were 3 productions, 2 advertising deals, and an organizational crisis file that hadn't been resolved in weeks. But her mind wasn't there. He opened the calendar on his phone screen. Friday, 15:30, Heat versus Celtics. His eyes fixed on that line. This game wasn't just any game. For Taylor, it was one of the most critical games of the season for the team he had been a fan of since childhood. And he had managed to get tickets in the front row of the arena, in Florida, in Miami, with the smell of the sea, watching his favorite team live. It was a desire he had been putting off for years. "Come on, Taylor, finish this," he muttered to himself. He shuffled the documents in front of him, checked his emails, had a quick meeting with his assistant, then another coffee, then another sleepless night, and another morning with difficulty waking up. But Friday finally came, and that plane took off on time. The first thing he felt when he stepped into Florida was the open sky. The wind was different from the harshness of New York. It was lighter, more pleasant. As she unpacked her suitcase in her hotel room, she felt a weight lifted off her shoulders. When she stepped out on the street in a simple t-shirt and shorts, she was just Taylor. A Taylor, away from the spotlight, away from social media, away from boards of directors. He walked the beach during the day. He sat next to a street musician and sang along to his melody. Then he stopped by a cafe and ordered a hamburger. Then the sound of children's voices coming from the opposite sidewalk caught his attention. A large yellow school bus stopped in front of a playground. A group of children, maybe 12 years old, maybe younger, maybe older, got out. They were laughing. Most of them were carrying ice cream or small bags. They ran into the cafe. It was filled with children's laughter. Taylor smiled at first, but then a boy sitting alone at a table by the window caught his attention. The boy was sitting far away from the others. There was nothing on his desk. In front of him was a slightly worn basketball. He was wearing a version of a Miami Heat jersey that was a little too big, with sagging shoulders. He had his head down. Every once in a while, he would look at his group of friends, then back down. Taylor's instinct kicked in. He stood up, went to her. "Hey," he said softly. "Why are you here, all alone?" The boy raised his head. His eyes were full, but he was not crying. There was an expression on his face, a silence of familiarity. "I just like watching the game," he said. "They like soccer. I like basketball." Taylor bowed his head. "I love basketball too. I'm a Miami fan." The boy smiled for the first time. "Me too." Taylor sat down next to the boy. He put his fist on the table and got down to eye level. "What's your name?" "Liam," the boy said. "Just Liam." Taylor smiled. "Nice to meet you, just Liam." From that moment on, Taylor was caught up in a story without realizing it. She just wanted to watch a basketball game, but there was a small world wrapped up in basketball. And that world not only loved the ball, but also loved to dream. Taylor's mind was full as she walked back to her hotel on the evening of that first day she met Liam. There was still the silence of the little boy, the tight grip on his ball, the pallor at the corner of his eyes, and the loneliness. He had seen these things before, yes, but this time it was different. Liam's loneliness was fueled not by being excluded, but by not being understood. The next day at noon, Taylor went back to the cafe. Same table, same boy, same ball, but this time he had a sketchbook and a pencil with him. Taylor approached his desk quietly. "I was expecting you today," Liam said with a smile. "You too," Taylor said. "I brought you something." He put the notebook on the table. He turned the pages. After leaving a few blank pages, he wrote a small note on one of them. Some things don't need words to describe. Sometimes just an action is enough. Liam looked at the notebook, then Taylor. "Are you dancing?" he asked. Taylor shook his head from side to side. "No, I don't. But I like to tell, in song, in words, sometimes just in silence." Liam was silent for a while. Then he suddenly asked, "You're a well-known person, aren't you?" Taylor paused for a moment. "Yeah, but I'm just listening to a friend's story right now." At that moment, Liam's eyes lit up. Perhaps for the first time, an adult was there to listen to him without teaching or correcting him. Over time, Taylor began to learn more about Liam's inner world. Liam was on the autism spectrum, but his greatest passion was basketball. He memorized numbers, memorized game stats, knew everything from players' birth dates to their shooting percentages per game. But every time the team did something, he was left out. One day Taylor asked, "Why don't they let you in?" Liam averted his eyes. "Because I can't speak properly, because sometimes I can't look the other person in the eye, because I throw the ball differently, because I'm different." Taylor took a deep breath. "You know, I was different when I was your age. Everyone tried to fit into a mold no matter what, but I didn't, because sometimes it's more powerful to write the rules of your own game." Liam's fingers traced the lines on the ball. "I just want to play," he said. Taylor touched his hand. "And you will play with someone who speaks your language." That same evening, Taylor reached the local branch of a basketball school he knew. He met with the coaches. He arranged for a trainer who had worked with children with autism. And most importantly, he took Liam there the next day as a surprise. When they walked through the gate, Liam was startled at first, but then his eyes fell on the field. There were different kids there, just like him. Some talked a lot, some didn't talk at all, but they all loved the ball. Coach turned to Taylor. "There's something else about this kid." Taylor smiled slightly. "I knew the first time I saw him." That day, Liam received a pass for the first time. The first time someone hugged his touchdown. For the first time, he felt a voice shouting, "Keep going!" Really saying it. In the evening, Taylor wanted to take Liam to the hotel. But first, they sat together on the beach. The sun was setting, the wind was blowing her hair, Taylor was quiet, and so was Liam. Then the boy put his ball on his knees and whispered, For the first time in my life, felt that I existed." Taylor. Because belonging is not about where you are, it's about who you are with. Liam tilted his head. "What if I'm always alone?" Taylor took his hand. "I promise you, Liam, you won't be alone during this vacation, and maybe for the rest of your life." The next morning, Taylor woke up early. As the Florida sun filtered through the curtains, her mind was still stuck on the night before. Liam's words on the beach, the hopeful look in his eyes. They had already left their mark on Taylor's inner world. Maybe this wasn't an ordinary encounter, but a friendship that was meant to be. A friendship woven by fate. Today was an important day. Taylor was going to meet Liam on the basketball court and watch him play from start to finish for the first time. But she wanted to make it special. Before she left the hotel lobby, she took a small package with her, an autographed NBA ball from her private collection. Liam was waiting for him on the small basketball court in the backyard of the school. His worn ball in his hand, his head slightly bowed, he listened intently to the sounds around him. When he saw Taylor, the look of joy in his eyes was the purest happiness of a child. Taylor walked towards him without saying anything. He handed her the package. "This is yours," he said. Liam opened the package. When he held the ball in his hands, he shivered. Then his eyes welled up. Is this real?" Taylor shook his head. "I saved it for someone like you. Maybe you owned it all along." Liam pressed the ball to his chest. "But I don't deserve it. You," Taylor said, leaning down to eye level with him, "are redefining what it means to deserve, Liam." The practice started. Coach Michael was there. For the first time, Liam looked so focused and eager. He was dancing with the ball. There was a boy on the field, taking his steps carefully, but getting bolder each time. Taylor was on the sidelines, quietly watching him. In one position, Liam was dribbling the ball when he suddenly fell to the ground. The other children paused. Liam stayed down for a few seconds, then sat up. His eyes were full of tears. But he wasn't crying. The coach came to him immediately. "Are you okay?" Liam shook his head. "I was just angry with myself." Taylor came up to him. "Why?" "Because I don't want to give up the ball, but sometimes I feel like my body is against me." Taylor touched his shoulder. "Liam, falling is sometimes the first step to moving forward." Liam looked up. The glint in his eyes hadn't gone out. After practice, Taylor took Liam to a small café. That day, they talked not only about basketball, but also about the seemingly meaningless details of life. Liam's brothers, the girl he liked at school, why he always drank milk in the morning. And that's when Liam suddenly went silent. Taylor looked worried. "What happened?" Liam lowered his eyes to the floor. "I need to tell you something, but I'm scared." Taylor immediately grabbed her hand. "Don't be afraid. I'm here no matter what." Liam took a deep breath. Actually, when I first started playing basketball, my dad used to watch me all the time. But then he got sick, and he can't come anymore. He doesn't even recognize me most of the time because he has Alzheimer's." Taylor was silent for a moment. Her eyes welled up. "You're still familiar to him because someone who's loved you, even if they forget, doesn't lose their place in you." Liam shook his head. "I'm always playing for him. Even if he doesn't smile, I smile for him." Taylor knew in that moment the love, the imagination, the devotion in this boy. It was different from any other boy, and that bond made their friendship anything but ordinary. That night, when Taylor returned to his hotel room, he received a message on his phone. "It's from Liam. Are you ready tomorrow? I'll pass you with my best shot. But if you catch it, we'll score together." Taylor smiled when he read the message. She wrote back, "I'm ready, teammate. Tomorrow, we will shine like a star on the field." And in that moment, Taylor knew he was no longer in Florida just for a basketball game. Life had presented him with a story of hope that he would rebuild. And she was not just a spectator. She was a leading supporter. It was only 2 days before game day in Florida. The air was filled with a stirring excitement. A slight smile on the faces of people walking along the beach, flags and jerseys on the streets, noisy crowds. But there was only one image in Taylor's mind: the light on Liam's face. Early in the morning, Taylor stopped by Liam's school. "Today is a special day," Coach Michael said as he waved Taylor excitedly through the door. "Liam has a mini exhibition game at school. It's kind of a tune-up." When Taylor entered the basketball gym, the stands were almost empty. Just a few parents, teachers, and students. But the emptiness in the gym was filled not with silence, but with the beating of a child's heart. Liam was doing warm-ups. When he saw Taylor, he stopped briefly, then just lowered his head when their eyes met. At that moment, Taylor realized something. Liam didn't look confident. There were tired circles under his eyes, a suppressed worry at the corner of his lip. Taylor slowly walked down the field. He walked up to the coach and whispered, "There is something more important than him winning today. He needs something to make him feel himself again." The match started. Liam was hesitant to even pass the ball at the start of the game, dropping it every time he received it. He fell to the ground when a boy bumped into him. The referee didn't call a foul, but Liam's morale dropped even more. Taylor stood up. Quietly but determinedly, she began clapping her hands. She didn't shout, "Come on, Liam." She just made her presence felt. She just showed that she believed in him. Liam turned his head. There was only a pair of eyes looking at him in that huge grandstand. But in those eyes, he saw the whole universe. And in that moment, everything changed. Liam gets the ball. He goes forward on his own. He went inside from outside the line, avoiding the other players, heading for the basket. With small steps, but with caution, pushing his body to its limits, he leaped and put the ball in the basket. The silence lasted a few seconds. Then a click echoed from the hoop. Number. Coach Michael jumped to his feet. Taylor clapped silently. Liam just smiled. He had won that moment, not the whole gym, but himself. When the match was over, Taylor went to him. "That's the first time I've played basketball like that," Liam said. Today the stands were quiet, but inside I was very loud. Taylor touched his shoulder. "Because a part of you that hasn't spoken in years gave voice for the first time today. And I heard it, Liam." That night, Taylor took Liam to a pizza place with her parents. Her mother was so excited to meet Taylor that she couldn't string a few words together. Her father, a quiet man struggling with Alzheimer's, just looked down at Taylor. But Liam whispered something in his ear, and the man, with difficulty, turned to Taylor, moving his lips slowly. "Thank you." Taylor didn't know what hit her. Liam looked up. "Sometimes words get lost, but thank you always finds a way," he said. At the end of the night, Taylor left a small envelope invitation in Liam's hand. "Tomorrow, you and I will go somewhere important, but for now, it's a surprise." Liam took the envelope excitedly. In his eyes, there was an echo of gratitude, love, but most of all, hope. That night, on the way back to his hotel room, Taylor wrote a note in his diary. That light shining in a child's eyes. It was the most beautiful spotlight on the stage. And if I could be just a figure in his story, that's worth more than any award. The next day, a completely different page would turn. Taylor awoke in the early hours of the morning as the sun slowly rose over Florida. Coffee in hand, he looked out over the hotel balcony, feeling a sweet tightness in his chest as he thought about how much the day ahead meant. He wasn't just going to the game. Today, he was going to witness a dream come true. For Liam, this morning was different. He wore his favorite jersey and combed his hair carefully. He had stood in front of the mirror for minutes trying to smile, but his excitement made the corner of his lips tremble. Although his autism often clouds his connection with the outside world, one thing is clear in his mind today. Today was the day her heart had been waiting for so long. Taylor picked up Liam and his family in a private van. No one said much during the ride. Only Taylor reached out his hand to Liam's hand and held it silently. That touch said more than a million words. When they walked in through the VIP entrance of the stadium, Liam's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. The bleachers, the giant scoreboards, the twinkling lights, but most importantly, Andrew Wiggins practicing on the edge of the hardwood. One of the NBA's brightest stars, Liam's hero. Liam crashed to the ground. "Taylor, is it really him?" she whispered. Taylor leaned in. "Yeah, and we're not just going to watch him play today. You're going to meet him." Liam's knees shook. His heart felt like it was going to burst out of his chest. A security guard escorted them down to the field. Andrew saw Taylor and immediately hugged her. Then he turned to Liam. There was a moment of silence. And Marcus, he held out his hand. "So, you're Liam. Taylor told me a lot about you. I wanted to get to know you after what I heard." Liam couldn't believe his eyes. He put his hand in Andrew's palm. Andrew knelt down and got to eye level with him. "Hey, this ball is dying to meet you," he said and handed it to Liam. Liam held the ball. He took a deep breath. Andrew asked, "Shall we practice shooting with you?" Liam shook his head. And in the middle of the stadium, on that huge court with thousands of seats watching in silence, a boy walked to the basket with his hero. Andrew took the first shot, and it went in. Then Liam tried. The ball spun in the hoop but didn't go in. Liam hesitated for a moment, but Andrew touched his shoulder. "You know what, Liam? I missed 3,000 times in my career, but I never gave up, because every missed shot is a stepping stone to the next point." Liam tried again. This time the ball went in. "Score!" Andrew applauded. Taylor could not hold back his tears. At the end of the training session, Andrew signed Liam's jersey and gave it to him. He wrote this sentence on it: "This jersey is yours because the fight comes from within you. Never give up." Liam stayed with Andrew for the rest of the day. The club tour, the changing rooms, the team photo, and the way it was all a dream come true. At the end of the day, as the stadium lights dimmed, Andrew hugged Liam. "Today I met a star, Liam, and that star is you." That night, as Taylor dropped Liam off at his hotel, the boy looked out the window. There was happiness and sadness in his eyes, emotions too big for a child. "Taylor," he said quietly, "I've been dreaming today, but that dream will stay with you when you wake up, won't it?" Taylor put her hand on his. "It will stay, Liam, because this is your story. And now everyone is going to hear your story." As the van pulled away, Taylor turned once more to look at Liam. They locked eyes. A boy smiled, and that smile silenced the noise of the whole world. Coming back to Manhattan from Florida was harder for Taylor than she thought. Leaving Liam, well, it wasn't like leaving a child. It was leaving a part of her. But it wasn't the end, just the beginning. Taylor's agenda was full, projects were piling up, but in the back of her mind there was always Liam. The sparkle in his eyes, the way he came back and smiled at Taylor after he scored that point on the court, her fragile but strong spirit that continues to dream even under the most difficult circumstances. And then, exactly 2 weeks later, at 8:36 in the morning, the phone rang. It was Angela. Angela's voice was shaking as soon as Taylor picked up the phone. "Taylor, I have some bad news. Liam, last night." He did not need to finish his words. Taylor's world slowed down. It was as if his heart stopped. Liam was gone. An emergency return to Manhattan was arranged for the same day. In a hospital room full of children, Taylor had never felt so intimately how fragile life is. When Liam's mother saw Taylor, she hugged her. They didn't speak for a long time. They just cried. But then one of the nurses came in. She was holding a blue folder. "Liam filled this with us on his last day. He said he wanted to share it with you," he said. Taylor picked up the file. With trembling fingers, he skimmed through its contents. Organ donation form, and a note. "If one day I'm not around, give them my ball so other children can play. Share my heart, share the music." A tiny squiggly signature underneath. Liam W. Taylor burst into tears. But this time it was more admiration than pain. This little boy had lived with courage beyond his years, and even his farewell was marked by hope. That night, Taylor went home. She looked out the window at the stars and thought about that day with Liam. Then she made a decision. He was going to keep Liam's name alive. Weeks later, Taylor built a sports complex in Manhattan. It's called Liam's Court. The motto was that quote Andrew wrote for Liam: "The struggle comes from within you. Never give up." The complex was not just a basketball court. There were special classes for children with autism, dance workshops, art therapies, speech development areas. Every corner was filled with things Liam loved, his drawings and photos on the walls. And in the most special place, the last jersey Liam ever wore displayed in glass. Taylor went on stage every opening day and said the same thing. This place was founded on a child's dream, and we are here to make that dream grow. Andrew came to the opening. He tearfully hugged Taylor. You weren't just her hero. You're a hero to all of us," he said. After the opening, Taylor was alone. He walked onto the court. He had a basketball in his hand. He stood in the center. He closed his eyes. "This shot I'm going to take for you today, Liam. Let it go with your breath," he said. He put the ball in the basket. Score. But that point wasn't written on the scoreboard. That number is engraved in hearts. Months later, on a television program, Taylor was asked the following question: "What has been the most influential thing in your life so far?" Taylor lowered his eyes to the floor. Then she raised her head. "It was a child saying thank you to me." Because that thank you was not just a word, it was a dream. And I was able to touch that dream. Then in the silence of the studio, he whispered, "Some people don't come into the world to leave a huge mark. Just a few people who leave a mark on your heart, enough to change the universe. Liam was one of them."